everybody, and welcome to the Lovebird Lane podcast. My name is Julianne and I am your host, and here we are again. I did miss out last week because Simon ended up having the week off last week, so we pretty much just hung out, and in this house there is no real privacy for doing a podcast without him hearing every single word perfectly clearly. So I get a little bit self-conscious when there's people around. There's people around today. We are getting the concrete laid today on the new garage, so we are really close to being done. I think the garage door is going on Tuesday. I think today is Thursday, and we'll be able to walk on the concrete and all that kind of thing by then, and it's about ready to have things actually placed in there next Thursday. It'll be all cured and ready for us to start moving our things in. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's been quite hard being separated from all of my stuff, partially because of some of the, one of the projects I'm going to talk about today. I'll explain more then, but yeah, it's been hard to be separated from my belongings. I had therapy this week, and because I've been a little bit down, and she's pretty much said to me it sounds like adjustment, so it's the adjustment of moving house and the stress of that and the lack of control of knowing where my things are, of being surrounded by boxes and needing simple things like measuring cups and that for cooking food, and not knowing where they are. So she said that's probably what a lot of my recent depression is about. So that's good. It's good to know that it doesn't sound like it's anything that's biologically based. It's not a spark up of my clinical depression. It's more of a spark of situational depression. So that's good to know. And yeah, I've not been feeling too bright the last couple of days. I'm feeling a little bit down. I don't know if I'm coming across as sounding a little bit blocked, but my nose is a little bit blocked up. But I feel okay. I've been out for a couple of walks already today. It is a nice sunny day after yesterday being absolutely miserable. Took Granger for a walk, been to the shops. So yeah, I'm quite bright and raring to go today. I've slapped all my makeup on, so I'm looking presentable, and my hair is a little bit not quite so presentable, but there's not a lot I can do about that at the moment. Simon gave me a bit of a tidy up on the sides because I want to try and grow out the faux hawk that I had before when it was just kind of a bit longer on top with the shaved sides. So I'm hoping to grow that out, but yeah, at this point in time, the length of the top, there's not really much I can do about it. So I'm looking at myself, I feel like I'm Wolverine, like I've got these two little bits that go up. But that's okay. Just give you something to giggle at while you're watching my podcast. And the eagle-eyed amongst you might see that I'm wearing my weekender sweater. So I've been pretty happy to wear this lately because it's a little bit more open. Here's Granger. It's a little bit more open around the collar. So as the weather's been warming up a little bit, it's actually very nice to wear. So yes, I've been wearing this one. So quickly, I might just start showing off the socks that I showed you last week because I have my sock blockers. Simon and I popped to the storage unit, and we picked up a few things. I've got a little bit of my bare yarn with me. I bought a dye pot with me because I'm going to do some dyeing. These are the socks that I showed you last week, my liquid luck socks from Yarn of a Homespun House. So yeah, I just thought I would show those off on the blockers, and now I can take photos of them and get them into my regular rotation. And I guess speaking of socks, I can talk about my socks in progress. Now, I'm pretty sure I had one finished last time I podcast. I think I had the one done. But yes, I have one full sock. And Simon and I went for a drive last Wednesday. We went up to Lyndoch, which is in the Brioche type area here in Adelaide. And we had some lunch at a it's the Lyndoch Bakery and Restaurant, and they have a lot of German food, so we had this nice German share platter because I'm on keto, so I couldn't really have pies and cakes and things like that, so I could have a bit of the sausages, a little bit of sauerkraut, I was fine. But yeah, so I did a lot of knitting. All that to say, I did a lot of knitting in the car because it was, I think, about an hour and a half's drive from here. So I think I had just started this grey stripe here when we got in the car, and I got through the heel and onto the purple stripe. I think the grey is the little bit that I've done in the last week since then. So I haven't done a lot of sock knitting. I have done a lot of other knitting though, so don't despair. Yeah, I think I got to that purple stripe on the drive, so I got a lot done. And it just shows you how quickly I could whip up a pair of socks if I really put my mind to it. You know, I could do it in a couple of days, I guess. But yeah, that's my Goth Kitty socks. They will be done at some stage if I get back to needing to knit on socks. I'm kind of at the stage now, especially being back on keto for 2 weeks, I've got a lot of energy. I'm feeling a lot less hazy in the head, and I've got a lot of get up and go. So I've actually been interested in doing knitting that is a little bit more challenging. So that is what I have been doing. I feel like I'm absolutely whipping through today, but I guess that's not a bad thing. It means it'll be quick for me to edit and quick for you guys to watch. But yeah, the next thing that I will talk about, I'm waving this around in my hand, I'll put that down on the seat, is my rose cardigan. Now I haven't talked about this for quite a while, but, sorry, the concrete is out the front and Granger's having a little bit of a fit. Yeah, the concreter just walked out the front. He's still going to be grumbling away, so hopefully he doesn't bark too much, but I'm just going to continue. So yes, I have finished all 4 quarters of my rose cardigan, so that is what it looks like. They are quite big, long pieces. My only disappointment was that this colour is my Impressionist colourway, and because of I usually dye on superwash yarn, this is non-superwash yarn, and I didn't leave the yarn long enough before stirring the dye through, and it's just spread the blue everywhere. So I kind of feel like, you know, this is a semi-solid, so that was always meant to be solid, but I was wanting sort of speckle all the way through, which the Impressionist probably would have been fairly speckly. So yes, I was hoping it would be a little bit more speckly, but I don't know, I don't mind it. It's not what I had envisioned, but I think it still works. I think it's still okay. So that is a back piece, and I have, this is the last piece I finished, which is a front piece. So I haven't joined anything together. It's my little stitch marker here, one of my little beaded stitch markers. I'll put a close up in for you as well. But yeah, I've got my 4 quarters done. The only problem is now because obviously I've got to seam it together, so, and then I've got to do the waistband. I just realised I've left my 4th quarter over there, but it doesn't matter, you get the idea. And do the collar and seam it all together. However, because all my yarn is in storage, this is literally all I have left for my collar. So I've just kind of been doing a little bit here and there, and yeah, I've kind of put it aside at the moment for another project, because I kind of want to wait until I have all of the yarn available for me to really dig in and finish this. Although I would really like to have it finished and still be able to get a little bit of wear out of it before it has to be put away. And honestly, the seaming won't take long. I quite enjoy seaming, so it's not something that's going to bother me to sit down and spend a day and just do it. It's just a matter of having the yarn to do the collar and the waistband. So the collar obviously is in the same colour as the last one that I knit, and the waistband will be in the Impressionist, in the blue. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I really wish I had the yarn available, and I'd had the foresight to keep the yarn available for myself when we moved in, instead of putting it into storage, but you know, what can you do? And the thing that I've been knitting on the most is a shawl, and if you follow me on Instagram at Lovebird Lane, you'll have seen that I had some Wool and Vine yarns that I dug out of stash, and this is a shawl. This is actually my 2nd try at a pattern. I had another pattern in mind because this is a very romantic shawl. If you follow Wool and Vine at all, if you follow Kristen, you know that she loves the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy, and I have also listened to all of those books and I really enjoyed them. So when she had some of her colorways of that she's created for the two main characters in the book, I kind of had to get some, of course. So I wanted to use them together. Just reach down and get the other ball. I wanted to use them together in a project because they're named after the two main characters. They're romantic characters. They're mates. They're fae and they are mates, and they are married. And I really wanted to have them in the same project. So I did have another project that was, let me show you the yarn so that you can see what I mean when I'm talking. So these are the two skeins. This is Feyre and this is Rhysand. And the initial shawl I was going to try is the haiku shawl, and I liked it because it was striped. Like Feyre and Rhysand are really like they're mates, they're soulmates, they are perfect for each other, they work really well together, you know, it's all very romantic. So yeah, I had the haiku shawl picked out, and that's because it was stripes and brioche, and the edge of it was like scalloped, that looked kind of like, I guess, dragon wings or bat wings, because Rhysand is what is called an Illyrian in the book, and he has wings. He can fly, he has wings, and Feyre ends up getting her own wings as well. So I liked the idea of it having the scallops, you know, the big sort of wing scallops on the edge, because I just thought it really kind of summed up my idea of what I wanted for these two yarns. But once I started knitting, I found that even though these are contrasty, like looking, I don't know if you can tell quite so much looking in the camera, but this is very much a blue, red, purple kind of tone, whereas this is very much a grey, orange, purple. And I thought that they would be good being striped, but there really wasn't a lot of contrast, and I didn't love what was coming out. I didn't love the edge finish on it either. I was finding, because there was slip stitches as you change colour, and I was having problems with you know, tension and having those stitches where I've slipped and gone to knit the next stitch with the, you know, the switched over colour. It was just getting pulled tight and it was puckering, and I just wasn't happy with the edge finish. Anyway, all that to say, I ripped out the haiku, so as you can see, that's all wound up there, and I have cast on an All About That brioche shawl instead. And that's basically, it's garter stitch, it's like a boomerang kind of triangle shawl, so you can kind of get an idea there. It's just the start of it. And yeah, so basically it's a big section of garter stitch in the first colour, then there's one section of brioche that has your starting colour as the main colour in brioche, with your contrast colour as the background, and then after that section you switch that so that your contrast colour is the main colour and your main colour is, you know, you switch them, and then you finish the shawl with the second colour in another garter stitch section. So I thought that would work well as well. So I like the edge finish much more on this one. It's got a slip stitch edge again. However, I'm finding it much easier to manage because it's only in the one colour, and I'm not having that issue of pulling the stitches tight when I switch colours. All that is on the garter stitch section. I don't know how I'll go once I get to the brioche section, but we will see. And I have a little stitch marker here, and it is a little bat, and I'll give you a close-up of that too. And that's hand beaded by me, and I'm hoping to have some in the shop for Halloween. But yes, that is how far I've gotten on my All About That brioche shawl, and I've mostly been working on that. I haven't obviously really picked up the collar for my rose cardigan because I don't like knitting long strips of fabric, but I know I have to if I want to have my cardigan finished. So I've been doing something that's a little bit more interesting, and I've been knitting on my All About That brioche. And I think that's about it. I think I've done all the blather that I really need to up front, all of the bits and pieces that I've been up to. The washing machine's about to go into a spin cycle, so it's probably a good time to wrap it up. But thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, as I say every week, just to help me out there, try and get more eyes on the podcast. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging around and the lovely comments that I received on the last episode. That was very much appreciated, so thank you for that. And yeah, if you're a new subscriber, I saw I had a new subscriber, so thank you for joining. I'm very glad to have you here. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back again. And I'm all over the place because my brain's not working this week, so I'm just going to shut up and go away. So thank you for watching. Happy crafting, happy knitting, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.